As most of you know, we've worked closely with the Department of Transportation, the Federal Aviation Administration, Congress, state and local government, and of course our airline partners, United and American Airlines, in order to move the plans to modernize O'Hare forward. We are here today because of the leadership and vision of Mayor Richard M. Daley, who introduced the OMP in 2001 and who has been the driver in making sure we implement this program of national significance. So if you can please join me in welcoming the Mayor of the City of Chicago, Mayor Richard M. Daley.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Commissioner Daley and our wonderful staff and her commitment. Years ago, we all proposed the modernization of O'Hare International Airport. To help assure our long-term economic vitality and strength, O'Hare is our connection with the rest of the world. I believe then and continue to believe that O'Hare is the economic engine that drives the economy of our city, our region, our state, and affects the nation and the world. Unless we continue to modernize its infrastructure and its operation, we will lose our competitive edge in the global economy as well as the United States. During these very difficult economic times, we all know that, both in the private sector and in government, completing the O'Hare Modernization Program is more important than ever. The airport's efficient operation is essential to our ability to compete in a new global economy and to make Chicago the type of place where people will want to live, to work, and of course raise their families. And that's why I'm so pleased to announce that the city has reached an agreement with American United Airlines on a way to proceed immediately with the completion of the phase of the O'Hare Modernization Program, OMP. This is a wonderful day for Chicago and the entire region and the country. The agreement ensures that the completion phase continues to move forward without any use of any local tax. First, I want to thank Dick Durbin, our Assistant Majority Leader and our Senior Senator, for his great commitment, and not only on this project, but other projects in the state over many, many years. Truly a public servant, one who understands the importance of jobs, especially in these difficult economic times, and listens to mayors and listens to local officials all over the state. And I got a call immediately from him when the issue came up in regards to intervening on behalf of the city of Chicago and the region. And I thank you, Dick, for your great commitment. To Mark Kirk, who has been a congressman for many years, just recently elected, who's been in the forefront of helping O'Hare Modernization Program as a congressman. And again, his effective voice with both airlines and with Ray LaHood and others in regards to getting an agreement here. I thank him for his commitment to public service. To all the Metro mayors and all to the labor leaders and business leaders, Lester Crown, Ty Fainer, Tom Villanova, Jorge Ramirez, all the mayors in the surrounding areas that truly made a commitment in regards to getting an agreement done. I want to personally thank the airlines, Jess Mizek of United, Jerry Arby from American Airlines, when Maurice is with us as well, for their great commitment, and their staff that worked hard and long on behalf of this agreement. And there was pulling and tugging back and forth. There were disagreements on different issues, but in the end result, not only worked out for them, but the airport and traveling passengers in our region. And of course, the Department of Aviation, Rosie Andolino, all the members of her staff that worked very hard in regards to the negotiations going on. And I'm very, very grateful to Ray LaHood, who's been a public servant for many years, a commitment as Secretary of Transportation, understanding the importance of O'Hare International Airport to the world and to the country and to our region. I thank the FAA for their wonderful staff and the negotiations, and Secretary Hood's staff in regards to these negotiations. They were hard fought in regards to the issues that were presented, but at the same time, the clear commitment of coming out with agreement. And I want to thank Ray LaHood for that commitment. He took time and effort in regards to this, and I did many first things with Ray LaHood. I got on a conference call, which I never, ever did. But I want to thank Ray for making sure that all of our voices were heard, in which he did. He was fair in regards to the approach of all the issues dealing with the airlines in the city, in the Department of Transportation, and FAA. This was a wonderful mediator in regards to these issues. As you all know, this is the economic engine. It creates many jobs, it creates billions of dollars for the region, but at the same time, it puts many people back to work. And the voice that we have heard from, again, from Washington, D.C., is the commitment of jobs, of keeping America moving forward and not slowing down in this recession, and not slowing down because of the economy. You have to really think of the future. You don't build for the present, you always build something for the future. And that's what O'Hare International Airport was built in 1959 and completed under John F. Kennedy, who dedicated this wonderful international O'Hare field under Mayor Richard J. Daley. And they had the foresight to build it for the future and not just for the present. And I just want to thank Secretary LaHood for being a great mediator, a great compromiser, a wonderful staff, bringing all the groups together and saying that we can accomplish this. And I'm very, very thankful to Secretary Ray LaHood. It's my great honor to introduce him, our wonderful Secretary of Transportation, Ray LaHood. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. I am delighted to be here to announce this agreement. This is the largest airfield modernization project in America. And when I had occasion to talk to both of our senators about this and their efforts to make sure that this project went forward, and then to talk to the mayor about this and to make sure that this project went forward, and then to be able to talk to the CEOs, I knew that there was no way that we could not move forward. I have been talking for 2 years about President Obama's big, huge vision about transportation. That's what this is. This is the next generation of transportation for our kids and grandkids. And if we had not moved forward with this, we would have been deficient in our responsibility in these jobs to really move this huge economic engine forward. The jobs that will be created by the people who will build the runways, the jobs that will be created by the airlines, the jobs that will be created by all of the people that work at this magnificent facility. That's what this was about. This is a jobs program. This is about putting our friends and neighbors to work in building runways, building capacity, and taking O'Hare to the next generation of transportation, to being able to really live the dreams that people like Mayor Daley and other elected officials have had about taking O'Hare to the next level. And that's the reason that we gathered everybody together. That's the reason that we insisted that everybody sit at a table and work this out. I want to thank the airlines, Jeff Smizik, Gerard Arpey, who couldn't be here, for being willing to sit down and talk about this and work it out. I want to thank Senator Durbin and Senator Kirk for their encouragement to me to make something happen, to bring people together. I also was in, as you can imagine, contact with Mayor-elect Emanuel, who was very interested in making sure that this moved forward. But the one person who deserves the most credit is Mayor Daley. He never gave up on this project. He always insisted that it had to go forward because of all the work that he did to bring the suburban mayors together earlier on, and all the work that he did to make sure that O'Hare is the kind of economic engine to provide jobs, but also to take O'Hare to the next level. Mayor, thank you for not giving up. Thank you for all of your leadership and making sure that none of us let this go. Now, look, I know the mayor is going to. I know Mayor Daley's going to have a lot of legacies. I believe this will be his transportation legacy, taking O'Hare to the next generation of transportation for the next generation. It's not just about Chicago, but it's about the world. It's about international travel. And this project will make flying safer. These runways will make flying safer. And that's part of it too, the safety aspect, the jobs that are provided, and really taking what the President has talked about and really making this a 21st century economic engine, airport for the future, for the next generation. Let me see if I left anything out here. No, I don't think I left anything out. I want to thank our FAA staff, who worked very hard, and the staff of Chicago Aviation. Particularly, I want to thank Kate Lang and Paul Geyer, Krista Fornato, and all of our FAA staff here, and the city staff, and the airline staff. They worked very hard. They really did. And we were the catalyst, but they worked hard in putting this deal together. This is for the people. This is for safety. This is to take O'Hare to the next generation. That's what this announcement is about today. So thank you, Mayor, for hanging in there with us. Thanks to the airlines, thanks to our senators, and thanks to all the staff people who worked very, very hard.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you for your continued commitment to the O'Hare Modernization Program and your leadership in transportation. Next, I'd like to welcome the CEO of United Airlines, our hometown carrier, Jeff Smisek. Jeff?
Thank you for that commercial, Rosie. I appreciate that. We come here today because of a dispute. But let me tell you what's not in dispute. What's not in dispute is our shared vision. The vision of Mayor Daley, Secretary LaHood, Senators Durbin and Kirk, the business community of Chicago, understanding how important O'Hare is to this city, to the state, and to the nation. We've always been committed to the O'Hare Modernization Program. We were committed to that program proceeding in a fiscally responsible manner. The agreement we have reached permits us to participate in a fiscally responsible manner. And I want to thank Mayor Daley. Mayor Daley was very persistent. His vision is the right vision. We need a competitive airport. It is an important driver of the economy, but it must remain competitive, as we all know, because hubs compete with each other. The mayor understands that, and we were able to reach an agreement with the mayor. I want to thank Secretary LaHood, who brought us together. This is a very difficult set of negotiations, and Secretary LaHood was persistent, and he brought us together, and this today is a great result. I want to thank the Senators Durbin and Senator Kirk, who worked with us again to bring the parties together. And I want to thank the business community, Lester Crown, Ty Fainer, the Civic Committee, because they understood the importance of O'Hare, but the importance of an O'Hare that's competitive and proceeds with its modernization, again, in a fiscally responsible manner. So thank you very much. We're delighted to be here, and we're delighted to be participating in the next phase of the modernization of O'Hare Airport.
Thank you, Jeff. You know, Chicago is blessed to be one of the only dual hub airports in the country. You just heard from the CEO of United Airlines. Gerard Arpey, the CEO of American, could not be with us today, but his representative, Will Riss, will be speaking on his behalf.
Thanks, Rosie. On behalf of American Airlines, our CEO, Gerard Arpey, who couldn't be here and deeply regrets it today, and most importantly, our 85,000 employees, thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. The process of reaching this agreement has been arduous, but that makes the outcome all the more satisfying. First, we owe a great deal of thanks to Senators Dick Durbin and Mark Kirk. They partnered together to persuade the parties to resume the talks at a time when it looked like litigation was the only path forward. And let me assure you, they are very persuasive individuals. They did a great job. And we are deeply grateful to Secretary Ray LaHood and his superb team, who spent many long nights, days, weekends, helping us find a solution, particularly to the three individuals, Paul, Krista, and Kate, that the Secretary referred to. Superb job. In the end, it was Secretary LaHood who never gave up and personally and skillfully closed the deal. To be clear, this was not a two-sided discussion. The federal government is very much a key player and has already committed a significant amount of resources to the O'Hare Modernization Program and made possible the final resolution today. Ultimately, I can assure you as one who was at the table for many weeks that the key to getting this done was for the parties to sit down and take the time and make the effort to understand the concerns of each other. And in that regard, Mayor Daley, we thank you and your team, which includes some exceptionally skilled and dedicated individuals, for listening to our concerns and recognizing the considerable headwinds that our industry faces. Mr. Mayor, as Jeff said, we share your vision for O'Hare to remain a world-class airport, a premier gateway to the United States from the rest of the world, and we believe that the agreement today advances that goal. One unsung hero in this process has been Cook County Circuit Court Judge Richard Daley. He has juggled his schedule and patiently responded to the parties' numerous requests for delays in the litigation in a way that actually made the process work. Finally, on behalf of American Airlines, our sincere thanks to Jeff Smisek and his wonderful team at United, who offered the talent and resources and facilities and worked with our team to make this solution possible for everyone. As an industry, we have a reputation, often well-deserved, of not being able to work well together. This was not one of those cases. So we're glad that this came to a wonderful resolution. I think, Mayor, the only people that probably aren't glad would be the Civic Committee, because I think during the negotiations we probably bought more hotel rooms and more restaurant meals and more taxi rides than a major convention. We're sorry we're going to leave that behind, but we're really delighted, and we thank you all.
Thank you, Will. Now it's my honor to introduce to you the Assistant Majority Leader of the United States, Senator Dick Durbin.
Thank you, Rosie, and thank you for all you've done. You've been extraordinary in this effort. I want to start by thanking my colleague, Senator Mark Kirk. We've been a partnership now for about 5 months, and in that period of time, I think we've done some things together that we never imagined we would do. But the most important thing we've done is what we celebrate today. Senator Kirk and I called together the CEOs of United and American. Jeff and Gerard sat down in our offices with their staff, and we said to them, we've got to get out of the courtroom and on to the concourse of O'Hare. We've got to put an end to this lawsuit. We have to find a way to keep this O'Hare Modernization Project moving forward, and we need you to work with us to get it done. And they said they would try. At that point, Mark and I reached out first to the mayor. I gave the mayor a call and I said, Rich, this public service career of yours is coming to a close, and I want it to close on a high note because of the commitment that you have made to O'Hare, and let's make it happen. And at that point, Mark and I found the right broker, the right person to put at the table to make it happen, Secretary of Transportation Ray LaHood. Not only a person who knows Illinois, certainly knows O'Hare. I've seen Ray at O'Hare probably more than any place else, but also a person who was able to sit down with the blessing of the President of the United States and make the kind of commitment to make this deal come together. Ray, thank you so much on behalf of President Obama for all that you do for transportation across America. Some of you who have a memory of this battle can think back 10 or 11 years. We were halfway through the service of Mayor Daley, and he said, the future of Chicago and the future of Illinois and the Midwest is right here at this airport. He made a commitment to modernize O'Hare, to take a runway configuration which might have made sense 40 years ago and made little sense today, and change it into an airport for the 21st century. If you think it was easy going, then you have a failing memory. We had a divided delegation, Rich. I mean, even my Senate colleague at the time was opposed to it, as were many members of the House delegation. You found plenty of critics in Springfield. You found some in the suburbs, even in the city. He persevered. He kept at it. 10 years ago, O'Hare Modernization became a reality because of the determination of Mayor Rich Daley. But it wasn't over. The economy changed. The airline business has changed. We had 9/11. We had a recession. And there was a question about what would go forward today in 2011. It ended up back in the courthouse, the same place it was 11 years ago. And that's when we needed some help to sit down at the table and work out our differences. The good news is we gathered today to announce that we are moving forward. We are not talking about lawsuits now. We're talking about a launch of a new generation of leadership right here at O'Hare International Airport, leading the Midwest, leading the nation, and leading the world in terms of safe and efficient air travel. It's a key to our economy. It's a key to our future. And I would say that, as Ray LaHood did, when I think of the public service legacy of Mayor Rich Daley, when it comes to the economic side, it starts right here at this airport. He knew this was the key. He made a commitment to it, and it's entirely fitting that we gathered today to honor his commitment and the good faith of all the parties involved that brought us to this moment. I'm glad that Senator Kirk and I could play a role in moving this forward, and I'm looking forward to many more flights in and out of O'Hare. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Durbin. We appreciate your leadership and your continuous commitment towards the O'Hare Modernization Program and all things for Illinois. Next, I'd like to introduce Senator Mark Kirk.
Very brief. I want to thank my colleague, Senator Durbin, for joining me on what turned out to be a successful mediation. As a congressman, I broke from my party early to back the O'Hare Modernization Project of Mayor Daley because it's the #1 job engine for Northern Illinois. And I was very happy when we started this mediation effort to have Secretary Ray LaHood step in, and the real eminence grease in this whole thing, Lester Crown, to help bring this agreement together. I really appreciate the leadership of Jeff Smisek and Gerard Arpey of United and American Airlines, because they are the parties that will deliver most of the job and economic growth that we have. I think we look at this agreement as yielding a couple of big benefits. Number one, about $300 million in general airport revenue bonds that would not have happened but for this agreement, and to remove the cloud from that. Nothing could have really worked, though, without about $150 million of extra federal money that Ray LaHood has brought to the table. Add it all up, it's over $1 billion in new work. And if you could see behind Rosie there, that southern runway, that yellow piece at the very bottom, that is what really gets launched here for continued construction. Balanoff and his team for construction through 2015. And to make sure that we maintain momentum is key to the #1 objective, in my view, which is to beat Hartsfield and put O'Hare as the #1 airport again. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. Next, I'd like to invite Ty Fainer, President of the Commercial Club of Chicago.
Thank you, Rosie. Lester Crown, you've all heard, is out of town today, but back when this vision started with Mayor Daley, and Lester Crown and the business community of Chicago were there right with him all the way through, getting it through Congress, getting the appropriations, getting the clearance, dealing with the lawsuits. And the business community here needs this airport to continue to grow. It's the crossroads of America. It's the airline crossroads of the world. Those of us that live and work here want to thank today Mayor Daley, our senators, Secretary LaHood, Jeff Smisek, Mr. Arpey, because these things are important to us and make our lives better and make this city the kind of city we want it to be now and the kind of a city it will be in the future. So on behalf of the business community, thank you very, very much, Mr. Mayor, and everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Ty. I would like to, before we end, echo the comments that you heard. It took a lot of hard work from a lot of team members, a lot of stakeholders to get this done. Many of our team from the City of Chicago, Michael Bolin, Ramon Recondo, Michael Schneiderman, Matt Danaher, as well as our partners, Kate Gibo, Laura Einspanier, Will Riss, Mark Anderson, and of course, our DOT, Krista Fernerato, Kate Lang, Paul Greyer. It really took a team effort. I'm just mentioning a few to make this project of national significance come together. So again, on behalf of the City of Chicago and the Department of Transportation and our airline partners, United American, thank you all very much. This is a great day and a great celebratory opportunity.